and welcome back to the BTS Pro Series Grand Finals here in Southeast Asia with Harry Freak and the ever lovely Kips. We're gonna be going into game number 2 of the Grand Finals here between Fnatic and Talon, and unfortunately, Kips, we are gonna have a little bit of a switch up. As you all know, Januel has had some power issues from this morning, and now he can definitely not play, so Fnatic are going to have a stand-in, and it is gonna be Carlo, formerly known as BDZ, that is gonna be standing in for Fnatic. Kips, how much does this change, and can Fnatic with a stand-in win, or maybe it's gonna be better, getting some fresh energy?
Fresh energy. I'm not sure about that. I feel like we saw the fresh energy Fnatic this morning, and
True.
I'm hoping that this doesn't like break their stride. Of course, normally when you lose a pos 5, you also lose like your drafter, your captain. Janwell, I don't know how much of a role he has in the shot calling early on in the game, but certainly the fact that Armel is drafting and that they'll still be following his game plan and that Carlo can just walk along, and that does make a lot of difference. So it might not have to be very high impact, but like it's gotta feel cruddy.
It probably doesn't feel too good, but Talon, we'll see if they're able to use this one to their advantage. They already shown in this tournament that they're looking like the dominant team, like the favorites, like the ones that should win the entire thing. And now they're one game ahead, but it doesn't have to mean anything. Crystal Maiden will come out for Fnatic. Is that like Carlos saying, "Yo guys, on 5, I'm gonna play a Crystal Maiden. Is that fine?" And they just pick it for him, and that's it.
There's always more behind it than that, right? If you pick Crystal Maiden, you're saying we're going to be playing a fast game. We're going to be having several cores that get empowered by this. She's going to be laning with somebody who can really make use of, the level 2, level 3 power spike. And later on, of all the extra mana, we're blocking, making the picks of, like, for example, Spirit Heroes like Ember very uncomfortable because of the root of the Crystal Maiden. There's a bunch of things that happen when you pick CM. And well, that's certainly a hero that can make use of the early lane pressure of the CM.
For sure. Usually with the Slark, I think about some heroes that can heal him up, that can keep him healthy. But if you have so much pressure that they can never turn on you, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's a great hero against the Batrider. Rubik also doesn't lock you down all that easily. So this is actually a pretty good Slark game right now. Of course, there's 3 more picks from Talon, but also there's 3 bans from Fnatic to cover for it.
Absolutely, and I think that if you're Fnatic, you're just going to move this Slark to whatever lane this Batrider is in. Like, I'm very sure they're comfortable with just moving him to the mid lane if that's necessary, and Slark wins that matchup.
That is true, actually. I'd be fine with seeing that one. What comes to mind is you remember mid one playing the Slark in the mid lane in his secret days. He was actually quite good at it.
Yes.
Now, especially with the Aghanims being so popular, it would be even better than that. Though Talon, they are banning out heroes that are good against Bat in the mid lane, so we can assume that Mikoto does want to play the Bat.
Yep, and if you look at his previous game performance, I am not upset whatsoever with him just getting some of these bans out of the way and getting a really nice game on the Batrider. Because that man has a feel for the tempo.
Mikoto, he is really crushing it here. I'm liking that he has this kind of a form just before the major, because to me that's saying that Southeast Asia will be somewhat competitive here. I'm at least hoping that is going to be the case. I've casted some Eastern European Dota, maybe, and also against some teams from Western Europe, and they're looking clean. So you really need to be bringing in the skill if you want to compete.
Exactly. Being the best of Southeast Asia, especially with how lackluster those performances have been on the international stage recently, is not enough. You gotta dominate the region, and you gotta be ready to reach a lot higher than just like, hey, we're the best locally. That's good enough, because clearly international Dota world will be ready for you.
Is Southeast Asia still like top 6 at the major, the most that they've accomplished? Is that true? With Neon?
What do you mean by that?
Did Southeast Asia never won a major, right? Did they win a major?
I'm trying to remember
No.
which tournament was won by the Mushi Ice 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 version of, was it Mineski? Was that a major?
Did majors exist back then?
No. This is after I worked with him, not before.
Uh-huh. Okay, go.
So yes, majors were a thing.
Okay. Go check there. I always thought that Neon, their top 6, that was the best placement. That's, for some reason, that is
I
in my
mean,
mind.
there is certainly also a plus 4 placement um, with on the international somewhere, but I wouldn't know about that.
Okay. So we're coming in with the half information here. So probably the chat will just tell us what it is, because we definitely have a lot of Southeast Asia fans in there. Brewmaster and the Clockwork Fnatic, they're going with what they know, with what they do best, and that is the KP Brewmaster. He did so well in the lower bracket finals. Looking at this game, is that going to be the case as well?
Very possible. I mean, this time you're up versus the Bad Rider, though, which does mean that you have that proper threat on the map where a Bad Rider can come out of nowhere, lasso you. You can get bursted down, especially with an Elder Titan and whatever else follow-up gets added there. So, not as free of a game. Certainly also not as easy of a core to run down on that Bad Rider right now, but maybe we'll get to see some more easy prey there. I just have to giggle thinking about that poor Cuckoo Doom running away through the jungle, not knowing what to do with all those pandas on his head. As, I don't think Talon's gonna fall into that trap.
They have solid heroes here, not at bursting down the Brewmaster, but at least at engaging the fight when they want to, and they're gonna go for the Faceless Void, which is pretty much a counter for every hero here. Brewmaster, he can die inside of the Chrono, Slark as well, Crystal Maiden and the Clockwork, spam out spells, the Time Dilation is something that they hate. Damage inside of the Chrono, insane with the Elder Titan, that is always something that comes to mind, so I'm pretty happy about this one.
Yeah. That is a rather nice pick. Of course, if you don't get the Slark down, like the Faceless Void damage output itself is not that great, and you usually rely on being the superior one in the longer fights because of it. But up against the Slark, it doesn't actually work that way, unfortunately. So you do need to use that Chrono. You do need to get a proper advantage in the fight with it, because otherwise the Slark will eventually edge you out.
What do you think about an off-lane Snapfire for Talon? How would that look? Is it too greedy? Are you not gonna have a front line?
I don't think that's greedy at all, honestly. I think that really opens up your itemization. It really helps with versus the threat of the Clockwork, for example, adds a ton of damage into Chrono while being a low cooldown enabler for the Bat Rider running around otherwise. I wouldn't mind it.
I'd be fine with it as well. Fnatic, they're banning out these tower pushers, these heroes that can control an area. So we'll see if Talon want to go for something along those lines. You know, Visages, the Lycans left in the pool, even though they're not really the most popular currently. They're gonna ban out the Tusk, and Fnatic do need a mid laner. What does Armel want to play here?
Not sure. I was occupied with Talon and the pushers being banned out. I'm like, Death Prophet is not been touched in this series so far. Well, then she isn't going to be, because you don't play DP into that. Yeah, hell no.
You don't want to. SF versus a Bat Rider. That seems like a risky one. Or maybe you send the SF to a safe lane. Is there a chance for that as well?
Absolutely, because if you are confident with putting the Slark on the Bat lane, then with the Shadow Fiend you have the kind of mid laner that can just move to the side. Easy peasy, and you're going to be up against, well, whatever Talon is going to pick here. And I'm sure Talon are aware of this problem. But who lanes well versus both a Slark and a Shadow Fiend, and is the kind of hero that you still need to round your line about? Ideally some more burst damage, maybe? That's hard.
Could be the case. Could be the case. I haven't seen much Centaur. I would be okay with that one with the Rubik. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a Pango. So, Talon, who are they laning mid? Who are they laning off lane? We don't know. It is going to be a Mikado Bat Rider. Okay, that makes sense. It's not a Puck, but it's a similar hero in terms that you do a lot of magical damage, can go into the backlines and be a nuisance to all of these supports here. So talk to me, Kips. Here, Batrider versus the SF. How does it actually go? We know it can go either way, but Mikoto or Armel?
Mikoto or Armel? That's a different way of phrasing it. I think Mikoto is on an absolute roll,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at Fnatic, like the player that's clearly been having the best time is KP. I think especially
Mm-hmm.
Armel has struggled. He has been on a struggle bus in a bunch of these games that Fnatic won. Like some of those wins were literally at the cost of him. So having him on the Shadow Fiend, he'd have to be putting in a different kind of performance than he has up until this point in the tournament. So give me Mikoto if you're asking me like that.
Okay. That is one way of putting it there for sure. Overall, though, it is looking like a decent draft for Talon here, but Fnatic, they are playing a Brewmaster. Is this good enough? Yes, I know, Kips, they do have a stand-in. Fnatic might not be as strong, but can they win? That is the real tough question.
They can, but definitely have to lean more into that late game potential of theirs now. Because if you force it with this draft and you overdo it, you go up into a Faceless Void Elder Titan, your SF is going to get shredded to pieces. As it's not going to look pretty at all if you ever get behind on a farm front here. So yes, they can do it, but they'd have to be putting in some real work to keep themselves in control.
We'll see if.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the easiest option here. I'm gonna go with Talon again, especially since it doesn't actually look like they're putting Slark on the Bad Rider lane for for Fnatic.
We'll see if they maybe try to do it. Gabby, actually, he did start with the magic stick, so yeah, they are putting him in the mid lane. Is that enough to change your mind?
To change my mind? Yeah, actually, because I think Mikoto is really important for Talon, and if Gabby is on his mid lane and does look like he will be, then Mikoto should be slowed down a lot. Big if here is if Gabby knows this matchup, but I think he does.
So we'll see how it actually goes. There is gonna be a pause here. We'll see how long it does last. Carlo does disconnect. So Fnatic, they seem to not have luck today with their position 5. Hopefully that does go a little bit better for them from now on.
Yeah. What if they need a stand-in for their stand-in? Like, how many stand-ins deep do you get to go, or is it like stand-ins all the way down? You think?
Well, I would imagine that our admins looking at this one would be like, it is a grand final, so just play, please, poke them, like do something. And so I'm hoping that everything does go well here, but I think there's like a limit of 3 stand-ins or something along those lines. Yeah.
I think it's like a Matryoshka doll, where you open one stand-in and there's a smaller stand-in inside. Oh no, it's the same blackout. You can only get a new stand-in if he's smaller than the previous one. That's how it works.
They were lying. They were just messing with us there. Yeah, there's not gonna be
But they got me.
Yeah, they got me as well. I was like, no way, no freaking way that this is happening to us. This is the grand finals. We want to see Dota. We want to see battle. We want to see blood. We want to see action, and hopefully we do get it here in game number 2 as well. Game 1 was very fun, very dynamic. A lot of fights everywhere. In the end, it is gonna be Talon that comes out ahead here. In game number 2, we'll see if they do it once more. 23 Savage. We know that Faceless Void is actually really, really popular in Southeast Asia. I think I was always a fan of how VT Faded played it, but 23 Savage being possibly the best carry of the region. Well,
yeah.
He's definitely gonna be able to do it.
Possibly the best Faceless Void. Like, this is a signature of his signature here. This is one of the heroes that he made his name on.
And he does have the Arcana, which means that he's going to be bashing more. Yes, it does work that way. Definitely tried it. You know, if you don't have the Arcana, you're going to have a 24% chance to bash. If you do have it, it's like 50. So, GG Fnatic, you have no chance. Of course, that's not really how it's going to work. But anyways, let's focus on the lanes here. It is going to be an SFCM lane. That seems like a lot of kill potential, but also a lot of squishiness.
Yep, exactly. And that really means that if Jabs can play it right here with his shield crash, he gets to tank through a lot of that, but maybe not on level 1.
I have to be careful, but he does dodge the first raise. That was close, but Armel won't be getting it off. Still, even with such low damage there from the Fade Bolt, Armel will get himself a couple of denies, a couple of CS. That's going to be quite nice. Level 1, level 2, that is when you pressure him.
Absolutely, and he does get to go to raises here, also going to be building a Bassi, but might not even need the Falcon Blade early in order to go raises build, just because he has a CM on his lane. Oh, we're going to see how that item build ends up for him. I'm keeping an eye on the mid lane here, because it's very, very busy.
Yeah, I don't know what DJ is doing.
I mean, the same as Oli.
True. So, you know, dragging the waves, being annoying, stuff like that. The cores are doing the same. This is, these guys decided today that they're not going to be laning. That's it.
I mean, sometimes you just don't feel like it, man. Like, there's other people there. It's annoying. Don't have your hair done yet. Just do it in the private side of your own home.
I guess that is gonna be more comfortable in Dota. Usually doesn't work that way. People get into your personal space way too much, even when you don't want them to, especially when you don't want them to. So Dota heroes can be quite rude, but overall it's what makes the game fun. But overall, so top lane is just gonna be shenanigans. We're gonna go back to the bottom lane to see if there's gonna be any kind of action there, but for now it is just farming.
For now, it is just farming indeed. I'm just glued to this mid lane matchup here, where it does look like Mikoto is keeping up the stacks on Gabby fairly well. Does not actually spam out too hard, so he does have the mana ready to make sure that he keeps Gabby low. And Gabby pretty annoyed by all the magic damage, and the fact that, of course, the Dark Pact itself costs him HP, so he keeps on being fairly low all the time.
I feel like all of these matchups that used to be good against the Bat, like straight up counters to him, are no longer that good when they added the sticky napalm does damage. Gabby goes in. Yep. Gabby can die from this. Okay, Mikoto is not going to be going forward.
Risky business, but on the other hand, like, because Mikoto is being careful with the sticky napalm stacks, he doesn't necessarily build up enough to threaten Gabby fully out of the lanes. Gabby can go in and out. That's a risky missed pounce though. Mikoto is gonna go for this.
Gabby's gone. Gabby's just dead. Yeah, he didn't respect this one. He thought if I remove the stacks, it's okay, but actually he can restack you fairly easily bottom lane. Also, there's going to be some action. Carlo, nice juke around the trees. In the end, that's not going to be happening. He still goes down, and Talon, they get 2 across the map.
Yikes. And I think you're right. Yeah, I'm behind on my matchup info, and clearly Gabby is as well. Because both of us thought that you should be able to win this Slark versus Bat matchup, but this does not look like a win to me. And that means that favoring Fnatic here is a fraught decision, because 2k in the hands of Talon already, and that's just it's not even 5 minutes into the game.
I mean, no one is gonna take that against you, considering that I've seen Bats win against Queen of Pain. Like, a year ago, that would be impossible. Literally impossible. You cannot even lane. Now you have so many water runes, you keep yourself healthy, and then you just continue spamming the sticky napalms, doing insane amounts of damage even without using your Firefly. And Gabby, again, he might be in some trouble, has 16 1 charges, has the healing cell, so he'll be okay for now. But I wouldn't want to be in his place, to be honest.
And he gets the salve cancelled by a sticky napalm charge. Yikes.
Yeah, he's forced to use the sticks there to keep himself healthy. All 3 of the lanes going in favor of Talon, especially the top lane. That one is not even close. Elder Titan just making a huge difference. Clockwork, it's not like he CS a lot. It is actually the Elder Titan that did, so it's complete and utter destruction of Fnatic on the top lane.
Yep, and that leaves their bot lane where Armel isn't exactly having a great time either. This lane of Rubik and Pango is just constantly pushing in, shoving them under the tower in a place where the Crystal Maiden can't at all too much, and Armel needs to choose if he uses his raises to clear the wave or to actually keep them in order to make sure that Talon can't go on him. And usually that means he ends up taking creep damage under tower.
Oh, they're going for the bat. They're gonna try to do something to Mikoto. Oli is gonna be going with the stomp immediately. Slark, he removes that one. Mikoto standing his ground. DJ, yes, I did want the bonus. Thank you for asking. And that's gonna be another one for Mikoto, another one for Talon, and they continue to dominate the early game.
Good lane.
Oh, this is looking
bat
rough.
is going to have, yeah. Oh, he's going to have such early boosted travels, and especially if this Elder Titan can do a bit of lane holding and stacking for him, I don't see any reason why he's not going to have a super early BKB as well.
If Gabby was the one that gave the idea, guys, let's send me to the mid lane with the Slark, I'm gonna crush the bat, then he is gonna have to be listening to some words from his teammates, because this definitely isn't working out. If he was sent there, you know, oh, you can deal with the bat, you're a Slark, easy, then that's gonna be fine from him. Then he's gonna be having a word with his teammates, like, how the hell did you think I was gonna do well in this one? But we all thought it was gonna be fine. I
trusted you. It's or the other way around, of course. You trusted me, and I let you down.
Hopefully.
No, and that is one of those things where you really gotta ask, especially like with calls like this, you gotta look at where did the information come from? How did anybody have the opposite information? Did they speak that out? Did just nobody know that this was going to happen? Or did somebody not take responsibility to say, actually, and then, you know, correct people on the perception that this Slark. But it is very possible that nobody thought that this was gonna happen, or at least not this bad.
Yeah, probably. You know, because it's not a lane that we see too often. Look at the Slark positioning. If you zoom him in, he does look really, really mad, and for a good reason. I mean, he got absolutely demolished in the lane.
Yeah, he is not a happy chappy right now.
So who's disconnected?
When
it's
is
KP.
Blackout? Question mark?
No, please no blackouts. Please no blackouts. If, for the love of God, give the power to these guys so that they can play the grand finals, even if it means that they're gonna lose 3-0. It doesn't matter. Just let them play Dota. Let them play their game, and I'm certain that Fnatic can push back on the Talon just a little bit if these constant blackouts don't continue to happen. And okay, it's not. It was probably just a little bit of lag. Reconnect. KP is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this is what all the let him cook spam is about? Just
maybe.
Let him cook.
Maybe he was hungry, so needed to prepare for some food. And KP, he's back, hopefully satiated, and hopefully you're not going to be seeing too much of those disconnects. They do get a kill onto Q on the bottom lane. Mikoto did come over. He didn't TP, though he does have an arcane, and he will get a kill. Gonna get 2 raises as well. But there's gonna be a ton of damage being done to him. Has to get away from this one. If Carlo gets the freeze, it is a dead bat. But nope, that's gonna be it, and Mikoto can get himself away.
He gets a refill. He might actually stay here. I wonder if Fnatic is counting on that at all, and I think the answer is no. Armel, run down.
Yeah, Armel was counting on the fact that he was not gonna stay, and he does. Mikoto, oh Armel, you tried to escape me. Well, now we're gonna be brought together once again. Not in a way that you like, so that's gonna be another one. Carlo, he's being chased down too. What is he to do? He has to run away, but surrounded by 3 heroes, he will accept his destiny, which is gonna be quick death. He makes it a little bit slower there, and in the end, the flame break will claim his life.
Kodo's game is looking absolutely unstoppable here. Normally we see bats finishing up their boots of travel in the jungle sometimes, depending on what happens, but He's just going to get it from lane creeps. What do you do about that? There's not a single tower down, and he's already gonna have BOTs. This man will be everywhere.
Every 40 seconds he'll be getting somewhere. He'll be killing someone. Gabby, he needs to use his high levels on the Slark to make something happen, and he will take down a sentry ward. That's the extent of his abilities currently. Talon way too strong. He cannot go forward. Mikoto, he finds a regen rune. He's thinking about going in. Does have the Firefly. DJ, is he gonna burn? Well, looks very likely here. Gabby, there's nothing you can do to save your buddy. Just run away and let him burn. Mikoto gets another one.
And it's like the kills keep on walking into his arms. He's just shoveling them in one by one. Do you have more? Big burp. Oh, thanks. And now he gets to take the stacks.
Yeah, everybody's lining up like, me, I'm next. Me, please, Mikoto. You didn't kill me enough in the previous game. Meanwhile, here he comes towards the bottom. He wants to use the ulti. You're not going to be using that one, Armel. Sorry. Now the lasso and the Shadow Fiend. He's on fire. Actually, he will get his ulti off, but it doesn't matter with the Swashbuckler should be going down. The Fade Bolt will, in the end, be the thing that takes him down. Carlo is going to be next. He came in as a stand-in. He didn't want it to end this way for him to just be food, but that's going to be what's happening. Gabby comes over. He wants to go for Mikoto, who finally now uses the Firefly. Is gonna get away from that bounce, and DJ, well, we know how this one ends when he's close to the back. He goes down with Mikoto getting a double kill and Gabby having to run himself away.
Too close to the fire, and Fnatic keeps on bringing people in one by one, and they all just get grilled and eaten alive by this bat. Like, at this point, I don't think he has time to swallow in between. Please kill him. No.
Kips is here hoping for a close game, a close grand finals.
Yes.
Talon say, no, we are strong, we are better, we will end this. Right here, right now, of course. Even if they win this one, they have one more game to play, at least. But with this kind of gameplay, Fnatic, they probably cannot hope for too much.
No, this is some sorry noobs, we have a plane to catch kind of play.
That is how it looks. We'll see if Fnatic have something to say about that one. These are all big players, all big names in the Dota world, but currently Talon just seem to be on another level.
Absolutely. Well, there I was gonna say at least they have one ace up their sleeve, their SKP with the Primal Split, but that's been used while we were watching bot. So actually no, there isn't one, and Chronosphere was used as well. So this top lane will just continue on as it was, completely ignored by the rest of the world. Just two people smacking each other.
KP, why did you use your Primal Split? Well, you left me on the top lane alone. I didn't want to be alone, so I had some friends over, and that's gonna be the only thing that he gets out of it. The Midas will be there on 23 Savage, meaning that this Faceless Void is gonna be super farmed in this game.
Yep, and this is one of those times where the Midas is completely justified. His team is already ahead without him contributing anything. He can sincerely expect to not even be involved in this game if it continues on like that, and that means that you're always going to get payoff for the hand of Midas. It's not like suddenly panic mode will have to start in quick, we need your chrono, we need your damage. It's like, no man, chill, got this. Goto's got this.
What I liked from Southeast Asia Faceless Void players is that they don't necessarily use the chronos at the start of the fight. They like to fight until their BKB is down. And speaking of, they're coming for KP. The bashes will come through. He does have the split. They force it out again. Faceless Void will be able to jump out in just a second. But actually, he's gonna be bounced. Where's the jump out? There it is, to the side. He's gonna get his HP back, but still quite low. Ollie gonna be coming over. The stomp not gonna be helping 23 Savage, and he's gone. Gabby, first successful rotation from him. Now the bat might be next. Does have the lasso within Arcane Rune, but here comes the Earth Splitter. No, they're inside of the cogs. We don't want to be here any longer. They're gonna be pushed out. Mikoto is standing his ground, and he is winning against them. Actually, not for long. Gabby will get a double kill. That's gonna be 750 gold into the pockets of Gabby, who's joking around the trees. He's healing, and he's thinking, I'm slaying you next. I just need some time. That time is gonna be bought. Meanwhile, other side of the map, Armel has gone down. Slark turns into a piggy from a fish to a pig, and now he's back to a full HP. Jabs, he's slaughtering the guys in the bottom lane. They're gonna need some help, and 23 Savage is back. to the living world here. Going for Gabby, wants to remove those time dilations, jumps out. Yep, you pounced me earlier, you will pounce me now as well, and then go down.
From Gabby, but I don't actually begrudge him staying around, thinking that, if I just heal enough, I'm going to get both of these supports as well. Of course, that's complete tunnel vision. The Faceless Void will totally return, but when you have a bad game like this and you feel this opening, you taste the comeback, it is very hard not to tunnel vision there. Unfortunately, he falls prey to it, and once again, Talon come out ahead, especially with those trades on the bottom side of the map as well. This SF just cannot stand his ground against any of the cores of Talon right now.
But Slark did get a lot of experience from that one. He's approaching level 11. Level 12 is, of course, when you get a big boost. Mikoto, he is lower in levels, in like looking at the Slark there, and he was crushing the early game. So I think that Gabby is gonna be relatively happy with what happened top.
Yeah, he's got the Diffusal Blade as well, and Slark, if you play it smart, can always get involved early, but you have to not force yourself too hard. You're still made of tissue paper. You've got just 1,000 HP, and sure, you have a lot of armor, but you're up versus a Batrider.
Look at poor Armel. The Earth Splitter will finish him off. There's no way you're getting your ulti up. The hook shot onto the bat. He will get pushed back. He's still flying. An illusion rune there will remove the frostbite. They didn't know he had that one. They didn't click, and because of it, they're gonna be giving away 2 bonuses. 2 more supports die on top of the SF, and Talon are gonna be pressuring the mid lane tower.
23 Savage just shows up for moral support. He's like, I make sure that we don't get outnumbered here. And, as long as I can Midas one of the creeps here, I'm good. I'm happy with this.
Okay, P comes to the mid lane. 23 Savage needs to get to the low ground if he wants to live. Actually goes to the side. They're focusing on jabs. He does have a mech, so he's not the easiest one to bring down. Should be able to get himself out of this one. Gabby, time dilation on him. Is going to be removing it right now. Jump out from the Faceless Void. Jabs, he wanted to do damage there. Gets the Guardian Greaves delivered, but he does have the debuff on him. Now turns onto the Slark, dropping low. He's dead. Even inside of his ulti, he is shadow dancing. But the moves just weren't there, and Fnatic get themselves too deep and get punished for it.
A long, arduous chase there, and that early 4-staff over on Q just spells the doom of the Slark. Like, support items, man, they win games. Like, if the Slark gets a couple of pickoffs there, that fight looks very different, but as long as the Rubik's is sitting behind you, 4-staff his first target away, where is he going to get his stacks exactly? Where is he going to build that fight momentum? I don't even want to talk about this, because this is just sad. I'm going to pretend there was never an SF there.
That was the saddest death that I have seen in competitive Dota recently. Like, that was so freaking sad. It's not like you're getting deleted, but you're slowly being chipped down, and there is absolutely 0 things that you can do about it.
Shot a little far.
Yeah, a little bit too far, and now with the Rolling Thunder, Jabs is coming forward. First, they're gonna go in with the Chrono. Clockwork is trying to run himself away. You don't have the ulti on KP, so ultimately, you will be taken down as well. It's actually not even gonna take them all that long. Gabby comes over, dear Splitter. It did come out, and it is gonna be taken down again inside of his ulti. He's just not tanky enough to survive through all of it. Armel comes to the high ground. They've called GG Fnatic. Okay, 16-minute game in the grand finals. A lot of excitement, Kips. I don't know, this is one of the most exciting grand finals games I have ever casted.
I mean, true, there's blood all over the floor, there's blood on the ceiling, there's blood on my hands. What happened? What did I do last night? But no, really. That was... as soon as that mid lane doesn't go well, the entire house of cards just comes tumbling down. I personally thought that maybe Fnatic tried to hold on as long as possible there, just to hope that they actually get Januel's power back, buy as much time as possible. But if he got the news that his power is back on, then I guess you can just call that one, because there is nothing left to do except, buy time for your support to please weld some cables together. Get your electricity back.
Okay, so ever since I started casting the BTS Pro Series, I have never seen a grand final look this dominant. Game 1, so and so, right? But Talon still
Yeah.
get the victory. Mikoto is untouchable. Again, now in Game 2, he also has one death, barely gets taken down, and they completely annihilated Fnatic. Is this truly the gap between Fnatic and all of the other teams in this tournament?
No, because you see, Januel is the one who knew that actually Slark loses this matchup nowadays.
Ah, okay. But does he have a cell phone maybe, so even though his power is down, they can call him, yo, Januel, does the Slark win the lane against Bat? No, don't do it. Why didn't they go for that
I
one?
don't know, how would he call? He needs 2 hands to hold the welding torch to put his electricity back together.
Okay. Kips here is being serious, and we are now being serious for sure. And we are hoping that we at least get a game 4. But if not, Talon having a clean sweep in the grand finals. It has happened on this TI as well. It is always nice to see a team dominate. We are hoping for a closer game. But then again, if Talon wins, all the power to them. We are going to be going on to a short break, and then we're going to be coming back with a potentially last game of this tournament.